Hello everybody and welcome back to another video review here on the Jurassic Park Podcast YouTube channel. I am Brad Jost, the host of the podcast, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Mattel DINO Rivals Dual Attack Parasaurolophus. So this one kind of took me a little bit longer than a lot of the other ones to actually pick up. I've been hesitant about picking this one up. I think the dual attacks so far have kind of underwhelmed me in terms of paint jobs and all that. The dual attacks are fun. I think they're very useful in terms of playability and everything. But the paint jobs on the dual attacks have really just not done it for me. And this one is definitely in that list. Now, I do feel like the Parasaurolophus is one of those iconic dinosaurs from this franchise, even though it really hasn't gotten a lot of screen time or anything like that. I do think it is an iconic design, and I think it just looks like a very cool dinosaur that it is hard to pass up. But this color scheme and this positioning kind of held me back in a way. So before we get too far into the criticisms of this figure here, let's take a look at the package itself. So of course, this is the Dual Attack Parasaurolophus. You have the DINO Rivals logo with the T-Rex facing off against the Triceratops, and the bewildered as always Owen, wondering what's up with this dinosaur. Do I love it? Do I hate it? What is it? Why is it a parachute? I don't know. I'm an army man, and Parasaurolophus is my kind of dinosaur, I guess. Maybe I love it. It's parachute. Hey, Billy, is this a parasaur? I don't know. But up here, you can actually take a look at the images here for the dual attack features. You have one back here, and you have one in the front there. So, hey, that was pretty cool. I liked both of those. But that's it as far as the front's concerned. It doesn't stand out, I think, against the packaging like some of the others. I don't know why. Maybe it's the blending of the color. I don't know. It just doesn't look as good in the packaging as even some other ones that I don't necessarily love the paint jobs. Alright, so here on the back, let's actually start down on the bottom. You have two other dual attacks. You have the Triceratops, which kind of underwhelmed me. I mean, I grew on it a little bit, but I still don't totally love it. And then the Concavinator, which I do absolutely love. I think that is a fantastic dinosaur and a great paint job and a really cool figure overall. So, of course, we have the collector's card in there. It's kind of a little askew, but this is also a Jurassic Facts app dinosaur, so make sure to scan the foot of this dinosaur to add it to your collection. And over here, we get a great picture of what this thing looks like in motion with the tail strike and the head strike. That's very cool. It looks great in motion there with a little bit of the blur and the kind of faded image in the background showcasing the different strike features. And then you have down here a great shot of the Parasaurolophus fighting against the Styracosaurus. Man, I'd actually like to pair up the cards and see who would win in the battle. But why don't we go ahead and just tear right into this thing and dive a little bit deeper. Okay, so let's start off here with the collector's card. Now, not much of a collector on this one because, unfortunately, it did have a little accident and it did rip. I think that is the first one that actually ripped on me. So, I know I've always said they're a little dangerous to keep in there with all that tape and everything, and this one did rip. So, unfortunately, that is the case here. But, this artwork is not really on the level that I would hope for this. While it is a very striking looking creature, it does look more like a raptor, that almost like that Spinosaurus, because look at these claws, these daggers, man. This thing looks a little violent compared to how I kind of picture the Parasaurolophus. So not really my favorite design there. And then as far as the strength goes, it's a 6, not too bad. The speed is a 4, not great. The intelligence is a 3, definitely not great. And the aggression is a 4, so not too aggressive, equaling 17. So who knows how that'll face off against the Styracosaurus. Maybe we'll take a look later on. On this side, you have the Jurassic World logo and the DINO Rivals logo, and of course the rip up at the top. Oh, come on. All right, so what do we think here? This is an interesting one for me. I mean, I sort of appreciate the pose here. It's a little bit different than what we're used to. This is a pose that you tend to see Parasaurolophus depicted in, so that's not too bad. It looks like they could have done a little bit more as far as bringing this thing to life. It's just a very generic, like, yellowish color. I'm not a fan of that yellow. I feel like it shouldn't be yellow. It feels like it begs for a natural tan color. Maybe I'm just thinking too much about the old Parasaurolophus, but I don't like the fact that it's yellow. And the brown striping there is it feels like it was just swiped on. It doesn't really blend naturally. It doesn't look like it fits on there. The pink along the face, I get what they were trying to do, because that does replicate what you had seen on the old Parasaurolophus, but it just, again, it just kind of looks thrown on there. It's not really my favorite blending. I don't know what they could have done better as far as the face is concerned. Maybe with an underlying tan instead of that yellow. Maybe it could have done a little bit better, but I don't love it. And then the eye on this one, it's just kind of laid in there. It's not really on the mark also. When it came to the Parasaurolophus, I had a tough time finding ones that I could be satisfied with as far as the paint's concerned. And that was about as good as I could get for the eye. Now, the eye is colored, but there's no coloring on the pupil itself. It's just kind of like just the same color as the skin itself. So it's just that yellow with the pink on top of it. So it's nothing too special there. So I guess why don't we move into the sculpt of this thing and the positioning of all the limbs and everything like that. I don't love it. I think the feet are a bit generic looking when it comes to this dinosaur. It kind of just resembles a lot of the other dinosaurs in terms of the sculpt on the feet. The hands themselves, I don't know what's going on there with that pad in the front. It's bent very oddly. Now, I guess I get what they're going for, but I guess I would have just liked a more natural resting position instead of that flat, bent look on the hand itself. I don't know. I'm really struggling here with this one. I don't love it. The neck and the head are fine. As far as the sculpting of the body and the shape of everything, I do like that it is, there's a lot of raised skin here on the top, and it is nicely sculpted here along the bottom and inside here on the ribs and everything. Man, I'm kind of struggling. Like I said, I don't like the sculpt on the feet there. Yeah, I'm struggling with this one. So let's see what we got as far as motion is concerned. So we do have the dual attack feature. So that's good. I do like that. I appreciate that movement. That is pretty strong, impactful feeling motion. The tail strike is like a lot of the other tail strikes. It's not too great, but it works. It's a good one. The tail strike is back here as well. So you got this basically pushing it to the one side and then reverting back to the resting position there. So those are good. I like those. Those are good attack features there. Very much like a lot of the other attacks that we've seen on other dinosaurs. So the arms swivel here up and down. They do rotate as well. These things are giant, and man, that guy's lifting weights. He's like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Is anybody doing that in the reviews? No, nobody else is. I don't think. I mean, sign me up if you notice anybody else out there. I want to subscribe to that. But the same goes to the other side as well. So you have this motion there. The feet or legs do move, so you can position it in the up pattern here, just like this. If it will stay, maybe, maybe not. That's always a good question. This might not be perfectly level. But it does have the, well, that sounded like it broke, huh? It does have the position in and out there as well, so that does help usually make these things stand up a little bit better. Typically, if you're having a hard time, you can position those in and out, and they do help. Now this one, oh, that's weird. I positioned it almost all the way in. So maybe it is partially the ground. It's not fully level there. But there you have it. It does kind of position itself up there. It's not the nice arc that I'd love, especially with the tail. You can't really move the tail all that much, so it won't really go much higher than that because the tail is kind of in the way there. So the head itself does actually move as well. You can, while you hold the attack feature, you can position the head in a different variety of positions. So that's pretty cool. I do like that ability. So if you want it that way, you can do a side attack, or you could do another side attack over here. You can do it a little bit down more, and more natural resting position, or up a little bit more. Yeah, it's just not a piece that I really like or enjoy all that much, specifically when there are better versions out there. So that's my outlook on this one. Why don't we go ahead and compare it with some other pieces? Alright, so here it is, matched up against some of the newer items as well. So you have, well, not Owen, he's old news, but you have the Dimetrodon here, which is obviously a bit smaller, and you have the Dino Rivals Stegosaurus back there. So this is also, this is a Mega Dual Attack, but this is just a normal Dual Attack, and this one here has the single attack when you move the tail itself. So there you go. But overall, I think it is a good size. It looks pretty good lined up next to all these ones, so good. Now, let's go ahead and take a look next to one that you're going to want to see, because this is what we've been waiting for, right? Come on, you know which one's coming up next. So, of course, I did have to compare it to the Lost World Parasaurolophus from the 1997 toy line there. This one, to me, looks a whole lot better than this version. I will not sit here and say that this is the best toy ever made, or the best paint job design, or anything like that, but I do think it looks a whole lot more natural and better than this one. I just don't like this yellow look. I really like this natural tan and white under here. I think that blends a whole lot better. As far as these brown stripes go, well, they're basically the same as this. I feel like it's just kind of laid on there. At least these look a little varied. These are just like two strips going straight down the back that kind of come together on the tail. So those aren't as great as well. I do like the sculpting here up on the head a lot better. I think that looks a whole lot more natural and very Crash McCreary. It just screams Jurassic to me. But, in comparison, I do appreciate that this pose is down and different than this one. But overall, I think this one is the way better design choice, and that's a bit older. So hopefully you can track that one down as well. So there you go, that is our look at the Dual Attack Parasaurolophus from Mattel on their Dino Rivals toy line. You heard me, it's not really my favorite thing. I don't think it's great by any means. I appreciate the pose and some of the sculpting, but I think it could have been done a little bit better, painted a little bit better, sculpted a little bit better. But there are some downfalls here and there on the line. So it's okay, it's fine, it's okay. It's not the end of the world here, so I appreciate everybody letting me know, though. What do you guys think? Do you like this one? Are you a fan? Because I know there are fans out there of this piece. So if you do like it, if you hate it, let me know in the comments below. I would really like to know on this one specifically, because I think it's a little bit of a toss-up out there. I just don't like it, and I know some do. So let me know in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe to our channel, share this around, hit that notification bell, comment below, do all the things here on YouTube. Also on Twitter at Jurassic Park Pod, on Instagram and Facebook at Jurassic Park Podcast. Make sure to download the podcast on iTunes, which is Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, all the places that you can find podcasts. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching this video, and enjoy.